internet, I'm Hazel. It is almost Saturday, so it's time for a vlog. Today is April the 1st, which makes it April Fool's. And I want to say before I get into any of the rest of the vlog that there are no pranks within this vlog or anything else that I'm doing. I'm not very good at thinking of April Fool's jokes, and they're not really my thing anyways. I'm very gullible. I'm a very gullible and somewhat naive person, so I always fall for everybody else's jokes. So this is the day that I just kind of stay off the internet. And I figure it's only fair to sort of give you guys the benefit of believing what you hear on the vlog, because it's all true. So happy April Fools though, and for April Fools, Blizzard, they normally do their a whole bunch of stuff usually, and they did not disappoint this year. There is a whole set of alpha patch notes that are, facetious alpha patch notes, April Fool's alpha patch notes, and they're pretty funny. It's a very long read, so if you've got downtime at work or whatever, then you can pull that up and look through them, but there's some pretty good stuff in there. They also made a trailer for Hearthstone the MMO, which was pretty funny. And I made the mistake of going to the original source, like the Battle.net source for that, and looking at the comments for it, and some people just like, whoosh. Somebody's like, this is World of Warcraft. It's like, yeah. Good job. So that's that. And then as far as news goes, as you may have ascertained if you either follow me on Twitter or watch my stream or are very observant as to what's happening in the background, I am in the Legion Alpha. You are now looking at Legion Dalaran. I don't actually know if the monument is different. I think it must be. It looks different. But in any case, the reason why there's so many people behind me in Dalaran is because this is the Legion Alpha Dalaran. And I'm so excited I made it in the Legion Alpha. Yay! I'm gonna make so many videos. It's actually, I have so many different things that I want to do that I'm kind of like paralyzed with too many choices. I don't know where to start. It's like when you open up Netflix and you're like, holy butts, there's a billion things on here, and then you end up watching nothing. It's kind of like that. So, yeah, I made it in the PvPer wave. They recently did a big invite wave targeting people that are active in Arena right now. And I managed to make it in on that. So if you are not in the alpha, one thing to note is they didn't send out emails. I did not get an email notifying me that I was in the alpha. So if you're not in it yet, check your launcher just in case. You're going to go to your launcher. You want to go to the drop-down menu that's above the play button when you've selected WoW, and see if there is Alpha Legion and not just Legion on there. And if there is Alpha, that means you're in and you can download it. It's a giant download. So leave yourself some time for that. And congrats if you made it in and you hadn't found it already. I was very surprised when I saw it because I was convinced that I didn't have it, because I've basically had a tab of my email open since they announced Legion, basically trying to wait and see if I was going to get in the alpha. So they stuck it right by me when they didn't email me about it, but whatever. I mean, I don't care. It's great. I've been in the alpha so far. I've been spending most of my time on the PvP testing realm on a level 110 druid. I'm just testing Resto Druid PvP so far. I've done a bunch of skirms, I've done a couple of battlegrounds, I've been kind of playing around with the different talents and looking through the artifact weapon, and trying to get a feel for what it's going to be like. And so far, the only major, there's been some pruning. The only ability that I really, really miss right now is Nature Swiftness. Nature Swiftness is gone on the Legion Alpha for Resto Druids, so there's no big emergency, you can't NS somebody. There's no big emergency heal. All of my burst healing is really based around my HOTS. So if I get CC'd for 20 seconds or whatever, and then I come out of that and all my HOTS are gone, as of right now, I have no good way to save somebody if they're about to die in that situation. I can Iron Bark them, but that's just damage reduction. That's not actually a heal. It's not going to pick them up. And I think the one thing that I don't have yet that may solve that problem is the final PvP talent, the very last one you get, instantly applies all of your HOTS to a target, so you could do that, and then you could probably pop your artifact weapon ability, which makes all your HOTS tick really fast, and that might do it, but I won't know until I try it, and I won't try it until I get all the way through the PvP talent tree, because you don't unlock that until honor level 46, and I'm honor level 5 right now. I haven't even unlocked Cyclone, which happens at honor level 6, so oh man, it's so weird playing without Cyclone. I'm just spam rooting people, this button is good enough. This is close enough. This is all I got. And apparently people don't have all that many root breaks in Legion, so I root people and they just kind of, spin in place and look at me and go, what did you do? So it's pretty fun. Anyways, related to the Legion Alpha and me being in it, if you have something you specifically want me to look at and you're interested in making a video of, leave a comment in this particular vlog or tweet at me. I can't promise that I will do it, but I can promise that I will look at it. And I will put it on my list of things to make videos of. So if you have something you want to see, please let me know so I know what people want to watch. And I will hopefully get right to making videos as soon as I possibly can. That was that. On live WoW lately. Sorry if I'm distracted, it's because it's like either a big ass fly or like a fairly small beetle. And it must have made it in. I've had my windows open lately because it's gotten warmer, and it must have made it in like through the screen somehow. I don't know how. This is a fat fly or a little beetle. Yeah, you're cute. You can stay. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, live WoW. So lately, I have spent 2 days. I spent 2 days recently this week setting up a new unit frame add-on. So my unit frames basically. So my self frame, my target, my focus target, and then my arena party frames. I set up a new add-on to handle that to try and get some more options. It's called Pitbull, and it's a very good unit frame add-on. It's quite complicated. It's one of those add-ons that has just a million options and is really, really powerful, but you kind of need, there's a learning curve on it. You kind of need to learn how the different parts of the add-on talk to each other to really set it up the way you want it to. So it took me probably over 10 hours of fiddling with settings just over a couple of days to get it really where I want it to be, but I'm actually really happy with how it is now. And I'm hoping that once I get one more add-on that I want to do sort of set up properly and everything tweaked out, then I am going to be like, I'm going to be super happy with my UI. And once I'm happy with it, and I've spent a week or two healing with it to make sure there's absolutely no issues, I want to do a guide video on exactly how to set that up, because I'm convinced it's about as good as it's going to get. So I'm really excited about that. And it was weird playing without the default frames for a little bit, but I think I have everything I need, so that's pretty cool. And the other thing is that once I finished that, I backed it up, because apparently every now and then something can happen and your settings can all disappear, and I didn't want 10 hours worth of figuring out settings to go away, so I made sure to make a backup of my WTF and interface folders. And this is just a public service announcement. If you haven't done that in a while and you use any amount of add-ons with any amount of special settings, just get like a thumb drive or an external hard drive or something, and back up your WTF and interface folders from your WoW folder. Just please do it. If anything ever happens, it is going to make your life a million times easier to get your WoW to set back up the way you want it to if you have backups of all your settings, because it's real bad trying to get all those done from scratch, especially if you've sort of built on add-ons over add-ons. If you're an add-on fiend like me. So that was that. Last night I queued some really fun turbo cleave. Like I queue about every day. And I pug people, or I'll play with friends list, or I'll have one friend and one pug, or, whatever, whoever's around. But yesterday I played with my friend Chubbs, who's the same one I got to 2.4 playing with Revo, and then Supatis brought his warrior along. He's got a warrior alt, and it was like the most fun ever. So I have a VOD of that I want to get edited and upload within the next day or two. There's nothing particularly, there's nothing massively educational or, groundbreaking about it. It was just really fun. It was a really effective push, too. I started around 2150 CR because I had tanked a little bit. And by the time we were done queuing, the MMR was, 2450 MMR, and it didn't even feel that scary up there. So it was really good confidence booster for me, because I've had a couple of rough days of pugging, and it's always good to remember that it's not always your fault. It's easy to feel like it's always my fault as the healer, because obviously somebody died, which means that I didn't have enough heals on them, but that's not always what happens. So that was kind of cool. As far as other videos that I'm getting up on the channel, you may have noticed I put the first episode of the Emerald Dreamcast, which is the new podcast I'm doing with Wow Mardian, up on the channel. There are 3 episodes made to date. Episode 4 is going to air live on Monday, and I want to get more of those up on the channel. There is not going to be any kind of background video on those. I just don't have time to record an hour of me flying around to put on top of it, and it's a podcast. So the idea is that if you want to watch it on YouTube, you can kind of throw it up and then maybe minimize it, put it in a back tab. You only need the audio. There is no video, so don't worry about that. And then we are also on, I want to say, Stitcher and the D20 website. We have actual hosting, and I believe you're able to download it from there. So if you want to put it on your iPod or whatever, or your phone or something, to listen to on the bus, then I'll put a link to that in the description of this video, and there's a link to that in the description below the Emerald Dream, the pilot episode VOD as well. So that's there. What else? 3-dimensional life, actual life. Like I said, it's gotten really warm randomly. I swear, a couple of days ago, it was freezing overnight, and I was waking up to frost in the grass, and it was really cold. And then all of a sudden, it started getting really sunny and warm. I went outside without a jacket on, and then I had to open the window in here because it was actually getting too warm in my office, and we slept with the window open last night. Now there's a beetle in my office, and I'm just so happy that it's sunny outside. I didn't realize how down just months on months of rain and gloomy weather can really get me until sun comes around, and I just feel like my whole life is going to get better. It's just such a I'm so happy it's nice outside. I'm going to be able to put my plants outside soon, and they're blooming. My adenium, like that really big cool plant that I have, I can't move it because it's big, and I'm afraid I'm going to damage it. But it's got 2 flowers on it. I put pictures on my Instagram, and I'm just really, really excited about the weather. I know it's just weather, but oh my gosh, it's so nice outside. I wore shorts yesterday. I need different shorts, or at least I need to throw out the shorts that I wore because they do not fit me anymore. Apparently I shrunk since last year, which doesn't make any sense. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to get bigger. But that's that. I got a new vacuum cleaner, which doesn't sound like a fun story, but oh my god, my old vacuum cleaner was like, I've spent months and months, and I keep taking this thing apart and unclogging it and like cleaning the filter and then drying the filter and just trying everything I can to make this thing suck again, and it's just awful. And then like I lost one of the screws, so it like was kind of resisting me every time I was trying to push it, and it like would get stuck on stuff, and it didn't pick things up anyways, and it was really awkward and heavy and clunky, and I hated it. And I got a new one. I finally ordered a new vacuum cleaner, and it's just like a normal vacuum. It's nothing terribly expensive. It's nothing super cheap. It's just a normal vacuum. But oh my god, my carpets smell amazing now. You wouldn't think they would smell good. You'd think they would just smell neutral. And maybe it's just the absence of the dust, but I swear I pulled up like a whole dog's worth of extra fur off my carpet. That old one must have been real broken because, oh my god, it was so satisfying. That's not a very interesting story, but you know what? That's my life. So pictures that I drew this week. The first one, this was a really quick one. This is just a sketch of an earring. After I drew the first earring, I realized I should probably draw a second one because it's weird to have a drawing of just one earring, but I didn't really want to draw the same thing again. So it's just one earring. This next one is Easter eggs because we had Easter this week. I had some chocolate. It was delicious. And these are like a picture of some dyed Easter eggs that I tried to shade. This next one is a sunny flower. On this particular day, I really felt like drawing as though I was like 6 years old. I really had an urge to get that kind of marker type feel. And as a kid, I don't know why, but I always drew flowers with sunshine and grass and butterflies. That was like the thing to draw, so I did a sunny flower. This next one is a little fat bird. I really like this design. I don't think it's particularly skilled, but I think it's cute. I think it would look cute on like a mug or something, but maybe that's just because I'm really excited about mugs right now. This next one is Spring Blossoms. This one's kind of a painting. I didn't have as much time as I wanted to spend on this, but it's alright. And this is another one that's in a size suitable for a phone wallpaper. Yesterday's, I drew a honey badger on a suggestion from a friend. He's a little wonky looking because I did this really late. I did this actually today, technically. I did it at 1:30 in the morning last night. So it's a little rushed, but you know, it's fine. He's a honey badger. You don't give a fuck. Pardon my language. And then this last one. So as a comment on last week's vlog, Logan said that he had drawn a staff and he wanted to show me and he wanted to see if I could color it. And it was really cool staff, and I'll show you that now. So this is the staff that Logan drew, and I wanted to do my version of it because it just looked really cool. So this is the colored one. I redrew this. I redid the lines, but I tried to follow the original design as closely as I could, and I added some color and stuff, and I think it's really cool. It reminds me a lot of the Resto Druid artifact weapon, like the Mother Staff. There's a version of it that looks quite a bit like this, and I am just so happy that other people are drawing stuff. You don't need to be like a super expert to like get started in it, and that design was I actually really like that design. Designing things is harder than it seems. I always draw like 100 times better when I have a reference to work off of, and like whenever I try and design something original, it's tough. So it's a good job on that. And what else? I wanted to do more portraits this week, but I just haven't had the time. I need to be able to sit down for like 2+ hours whenever I want to like really get one of those done. And right now, with everything that's going on with the Legion Alpha and everything, I don't know when I'll have time for that, but I want to do one of my Night Elf faces soon, so we'll see. Speaking of not enough time, Dark Souls 3 is coming out in, I think, 3 days, and I don't think I'm going to have time for it. I may not even buy it right away. My husband's getting it, so when he's not playing it, I'll be able to use Steam Family Sharing to play his copy. And I might just try and live like that for a while. I thought I was going to get my own copy, and I probably will, because it's Dark Souls 3. I'm going to play it a whole bunch. I don't have a Dark Souls game that I haven't put at least 60 hours into. But I'm just trying to think of when I'm going to do it, because I really need to be, like, I need to level on the alpha, I need to get PvP talents on the alpha, I need to make videos on the alpha, and then I'm still doing all my normal stuff in regular WoW, and I don't really want to stop queuing WOD 3s, because I definitely need lots of practice, so I don't know. Anyways, questions of this week. Somebody asked, if I'm in alpha, do I auto get beta? The answer to that is yes, you do. The alpha and beta, as words, technically have very specific descriptions associated with them, but in the context of Blizzard games and like the current definitions of alpha and beta, they really don't mean anything. All it means when it goes into beta is for this particular, for Legion specifically, all it means that when it goes into beta is that there's going to be keys for people to get in, and they'll probably add some more people, and it's going to be more focused on bug testing than adding features, but that doesn't mean they're going to stop adding features, and they're not going to be revoking anybody's access. I would be very surprised if they revoked anybody's access. That would be a very weird and unprecedented thing for them to do. So if you're already in the alpha, once it goes into beta, you will still be in it, unless something really weird and bad happens, but you should be just fine. And then somebody else wanted to know what CPU and GPU and video capture card do you use? So I don't use a video capture card unless I'm streaming from a console. I have a capture card so that I can stream from the PS4. I use that to make my Bloodborne videos, but I haven't used it in a while. It's kind of sitting in my closet because I mostly just make videos on my PC. My CPU is an Intel i7-4770. I don't think I got the K because I realized I'm not actually going to overclock this one because I am lazy, and it's going to be just like plenty of speed. The thing that bottlenecks people's performance in games and streaming is almost never your CPU. Like an i7 is, especially a newer Gen i7, like the 4th Gen i7 that I have, is perfectly fine. And then my GPU, my graphics card, is an NVIDIA GeForce 770. I don't remember the exact version I have, but it's a 770. It's perfectly fine. I like it a lot. I eventually want to upgrade it to a 970, but I think I'm just going to kind of run this computer into the ground until it like actually breaks or doesn't work for me anymore. And then I want to build a new one from scratch because it did sustain some damage when we moved last year. So I want to make a new one eventually. That's a later me problem, especially because I really can't afford to make a new computer right now. When I do rebuild it, I want to do it with a budget of around $2,000, and that's going to take some savings. So that has been my week. If you have any questions you would like answered on next week's vlog, leave them as a comment on this vlog. If you have anything particular you want to see from the Legion Alpha, let me know about that in these comments as well. Or you can tweet me on Twitter, or you can email me if you want at hazelnuttygames@gmail.com. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye!